Hello. Good morning. It's Monday, 8:17, 8 a.m. Um, I'm here with Barely Bear. We just got back from the hospital. Barely Bear got two separate bandages removed. So remarkable improvement. And of course, he continued to improve the lives of everybody he came into contact with, even if he got contact dermatitis from it. So the last update was on the 15th of last month. So, a month and a couple days away. So I'll catch you up. So on the 21st, I went to see my medical oncologist. I got home from the hospital yesterday. I got home from the medical oncologist. I went to see the medical oncologist on the 21st of July. And we made an appointment. I want to say the end of September. I feel like it was like 6 weeks after the operation. And the idea would be to figure out the chemotherapy and or immunotherapy plan. So we discussed it a little bit, but we don't know yet because the operation will now have provided tissue to help them determine how we go forward. So maybe I'll circle back to that. But anyway, made sure we were happy with the plan for the operation and no other questions. So somewhere in there, they managed to come and get my blood for ctDNA. I'm going to guess that might have been like on the 6th, but I don't quite remember because, oh yeah, how about that? It was on the 6th. I also had an appointment with the anesthesiologist, Dr. Jung, or I thought it was going to be, and it was the APRN, but then I had a different anesthesiologist when I actually went. So either way, it was fine. It was a good appointment. The telehealth, okay, that was August 6th. They had offered the surgery to me on August 7th, but I asked them if it would be reasonable or problematic if I put it off by a week and opted for the 14th. And they said that would be fine. It's not, I guess, that urgent. And the reason is I wanted to go to Kentucky. Sorry, I'm checking my notes. All of these health sickness updates are rather like this. I'm sorry. I wanted to go to Kentucky to help launch the inaugural Upper South Free Training Day. In Kentucky, which I did, and it was great, but that's not what this video is about. Okay, so back to the calendar. Sorry, that would have been the weekend of August 7th. Then, they told me I had to go to New Haven for EKG and a blood draw, which was like an added thing. So I went in and got that done on the 11th. I think it was the 11th. And then the 14th, I went in for surgery. So, I taught my classes Friday morning. Went into surgery. I'm gonna guess that I waited about 3 or 4 hours in sort of pre-op, obviously met with the the anesthesiology folks and so forth. It was Zwolinski, Dr. Zwolinski, who I thought was just fantastic, really wonderful. Okay, so I went into the surgery. I had like a great team in there. Sydney Church was a standout. What I found out later is I think I got out of surgery around 8, 9, 7:30. So, I mean, of course, I don't quite know, but something like that. And what I was made to understand is that they were expecting I might be there till midnight. But it went smoother, easily. Apparently, I think they put 5 holes in me. So it's a robotic segmentectomy of the lingulum, as well as I guess you'd call it a biopsy slash inspection of an issue in the left lower lung, which might have amounted to more holes. I don't really know. Anyway, they said that because I had had radiation there, it's possible that the sort of anatomy is sort of misshapen and maybe confusing or complex, maybe might have been the word they used. And that can take a lot more time for them to, I guess, puzzle out what they're resecting and so forth. But mine was quite, I guess, geometrically proper, so it didn't create an extended surgical argument or need. Anyway, I was asleep, so I don't know. So anyway, I came out of recovery. They brought me up to my room. They wouldn't let me go to main 6, but we went to the 15th floor of whatever the building is. Maybe it's North Pavilion, I don't know, where the healing garden is. Or at least beside it. It wasn't far. I'm not quite sure. Speaking of geometry. Anyway, I wanted to walk as soon as I could. I didn't want to get in the bed. When I got to the room, they wouldn't let me just start walking. They're like, you have to sit. So I think, as I recall, I sat, but like for the least amount of time possible until I could get up and start walking and doing laps. And so it was pretty interesting layout up there. I was able to do different kind of paths, and there was space to practice Tai Chi and practice stretching my legs and squats and so forth. And I wasn't hooked up to an IV. I wasn't hooked up to much. I wasn't even hooked up to a heart monitor, which I thought I was pretty sure I would be. Apparently, they're doing this work, and it's very close to the heart, and it's very close to the portion of the heart which I guess is maybe most irritable or prone to AFib when it's, I don't know if inflamed is the right word, but irritated. And so I was on medicine to help ward that off, and obviously observation. And I thought that would involve a heart monitor, but it didn't. So I had a chest tube and IVs, but I didn't have like saline and an IV, whatever it's called, stand. So I felt like quite free having been in there before with like 2 central lines and 2 peripheral lines and 6 different drains and monitors and tubes. So that was pretty nice. So the walking and the Tai Chi was quite a bit more. I didn't really have any pain from the surgery. Um, really felt like I had been punched, um, which it's been so long because I'm so good at blocking. I forgot what that's like. I'm just so good at martial arts. um, but like it felt like a really good bruise, like a really good kick or punch, but not like broken ribs kind of thing. So it was fine. It didn't. I told them it's zero pain. It's just I'm aware of it. It's like an ache. Like it feels like I'm black and blue. Maybe I am. But apparently the chest tube um, aggravates or presses on a nerve. I'm gonna guess around T10, but I'm not certain. Um, Basically, the whole left side of my back, like mid shoulder blade to kidneys, was like a great deal of pain. I have a lot of back pain uh, generally, but it's a different sort of depth, a different location, different experience. This was, it felt like the shape of a surfboard, like everything was just, and that was like an easy 8 pain. And then it spiked to like 9.5. Um, so that was pretty tough. But my understanding was that that's most likely related to, the chest tube. Anyway, I didn't have the chest tube out in for as long as they ordinarily have it in. It came out fairly soon after, uh, early afternoon the next day, right? Saturday. I'm gonna guess like 2 o'clock or something. Um, I was able to eat and drink immediately, like I was not on restrictions, which is great because the last visits were like 3 weeks of MPO and then eventually TPN and D5 and stuff. So, um, uh, anyway, so the chest tube came out, and I was even more free. Um, and let's see. Um, the staff was great. Everybody's great. I'll make a separate thank you video for the individually named staff. Um, anyway, I did a lot of walking and a lot of exercising in the room, a lot of Tai Chi practice, and some Kung Fu practice. And I don't think there was any infection problem or any fever problem or any kind of sliding back. It felt like it was all healing progress. So it looked like I was on a track to go home. Um, they told me early, hey, it's really looking like you're going home Sunday. And then later in the day, Saturday, they're like, I think you can go home tonight. So we pressed and pursued for that. But it really felt like it was going to be a bureaucratic hurdle to get them to organize themselves. And it was. Eventually, they conceded it's not going to happen tonight, which is fine. It would have been nice just to go, but and then they were like, you can go as early as possible tomorrow, but I also knew that would be a bureaucratic. You got to wait till the right person with the right paperwork, and it just seems to take a needlessly long time. It's as it seems. Maybe there's a reason for it, but anyway, I'm gonna guess. I eventually got out at 11. We got to visit the healing garden a few times and practice there. So anyway, they took out part of the lung. Apparently, they didn't have to take out as much as they thought. Uh, how do I say it? They don't know how much they're going to take out when they start the operation, They obviously want to take out as little as they can, and they give you a heads up about what the maximum they expect might happen. So like, and I don't know if they took out the minimum or not. I just know they didn't take out the maximum. They were able to do a segment of the lignum, and I asked, and they said there was good margins. I don't know the results of any biopsy stuff. So let's see if I can find this note. Yeah, so basically they'll get pathology and molecular profiling on the tissue that they got out, which I guess is referred to as tumor tissue, and that goes into the consideration of how we treat the cancer systemically next, as i.e. chemotherapy / immunotherapy. Let's see, what else? Group classes. Okay. And so follow up from that, I don't think there's much to report. I asked them to I asked them to be sure my pulmonologist knows my sort of status in my case, so that they're looped in, I guess. I didn't see the surgeon after. I saw like a partner, colleague of the surgeon, another surgeon, Dr. Mace. So I'd assume I'll have an appointment to follow up with my surgeon at some interval, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't really know. That makes sense. I guess I have to be on alert for AFib for a while. And then keep healing from this to get ready for chemo, or whatever. So I think that's all I have to report. There's almost no chance anybody will be able to read that, but it's possibly. Is it possible? Yeah. Whatever. It's the GoFundMe. Okay. Thank you. Love.